Good evening, everyone. Welcome to episode 6. Raging Rolls playing Icewind Dale, Rime the Frostmaiden. Just one sneaky little announcement before we get back into it. For those playing along at home in the Discord, you might have seen a new event that was added into our event schedule on the 7th of September. This is we're going to bring in the old DM of Doom, and him and I are going to chat through all things being a DM. So that involves how to prepare about things, planning encounters, dealing with situations on the fly, and so on and so on and so on. So I'm very keen to get everyone else's questions or thoughts on this kind of thing as well. So feel free, please drop them into our Discord. Selfishly, this is very much for me to start out with, as taking learnings from DM of Doom. Has been doing this for years. I'm really keen to see how he prepares things and contrast how I do it right now. Help me try and find shortcuts and make things a bit easier.
Just to throw it out there though, Jez, like DMing us would be so easy. There's no shenanigans, no craziness. We stick to the script. We're pretty easygoing.
It's so predictable.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was talking to Noah about planning tonight's session last night. He's like, what you need, Dad? He's like, a map of Icewind Dale on your wall with the red string going from where they are here and where they are there. I'm like a crazy person. He's like, yeah. So I'm really excited about kicking that off. That'll be on that will be running once a month, typically on the first Thursday of the month, I think. So first one will be on the 7th of September, same time, same place. Come and join us. And you'll find it along with all these episodes on our brand new podcast. And still, I haven't put the link in the chat thing. But do just go search anywhere in Spotify or Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcast today. Just search up Raging Rolls and you will find us.
Do you think that the chat with you and the DM of Doom will involve how to set up links to all the socials?
Well, it might. If you need to get the links to all the socials, Dave, you know where you go? You go to bio.link/ragingrolls. And there you'll find us on every platform, including the podcast. Without further ado, shall we dive in to episode 6?
Oh, yeah.
Serious peoples.
And we're back. Okay. Last we left off, you drank the night away at Stone's Tavern, giving Boz a send-off with the locals. Eventually, Jorgen returns, covered in snow, and joins you. You eventually take yourselves back to your homes or the inn for the night to sleep it off. And the next morning you wake a little later than you would have hoped. And it's now 10 a.m. before you all end up at the inn together, along with Tali. Oh, I'm glad you're all here, finally. I'm really excited to see what this thing is up in Lonelywood. Perhaps it's an entirely new species. Well, let me know when you're ready to go. I'll be here. Just waiting. What would you like to do?
Yep, she's definitely going to be
will-
waiting.
Yes.
Impa, what are we doing?
What? I just need to say goodbye to my children, as I assume we're going to be away for a while. But other than that, there's not much else. Unless does anyone want to go fishing again?
The voice is a little
No,
rough
that
to go
is-
fishing.
Our fishing expedition went so well last time. Many fish were caught. All 5 of them.
What was that, Beatrice?
Oh, I'd rather not. I'd rather go dynamite fishing in a bathtub. I feel like that would be more effective.
That can be arranged.
Would rather be shot to death with a bunch of ice knives. Too soon? Too soon?
I'm like, what do you have hidden away in that brain? What's going on there?
Impa just glares at Jorgen.
Well, you didn't really say that.
Okay. He just thought it.
Really loudly.
That's dark.
Where did Jorgen go anyway? Jorgen, you're covered in snow. What is the
Yes.
meaning of this?
You disappeared. Where did you go?
Yeah, I did notice that.
I just wanted to check out if there were any other clues.
End up finding anything?
It's a
Yeah, I was just thinking the same thing. Inside check.
Inside check, indeed.
Where, no.
Well, I got a natural. No.
Is there another one coming?
Sorry,
Sorry,
I didn't
viewers.
like do anything. Like, I'd like to roll inside check.
Someone dropped the internet.
You guys. Did you
Which
guys
is
want
real
me
fast.
to?
What's my burn at +3? We have to do
Shall we take 5
Really?
minutes while Team Beatrice and
You guys-
Grakov attempt to reboot the internet?
No,
You guys
I
wanna
got
reboot
that, and I
your
got
internet?
+3. I got a 19 on my dice. +3.
Okay, that's a
Is it
22.
Penny, witness. Witness my roll.
Where is that camera
Witness
going?
me!
Okay, right.
Witness.
Jorgen was indeed searching for other clues.
Okay,
And
alright.
we'll pick up right there.
We believe you.
I understand that there's been some other murders in the region. All with similar hallmarks or MOs of an ice knife to the heart.
Does this happen to be black ice? Or just regular ice?
Just happen to be black ice, dear.
It
Well,
does,
Did I not
it
learn
does
that?
sound like a very nice drink, to be honest.
from what you heard, it was just mentioned to be a single ice knife.
And the locals have drawn their own conclusions, or are wondering whether Boz met the same fate, or is this just different skullfuckery?
Well, did the other ones have scarves stuffed down their throats?
No, and rather than being turned into a human pincushion, it was just the one
I was about to
the
say
one
that.
blade. So similarities, the differences, and we have a murder in East Haven, Targos, and not only 3 days ago, someone in Bryn Shanda.
Do you have any details about that, Jorgen?
I have it in my handy Slack message from the DM read 10 minutes prior to this to make up for my
Is
absence.
that where you went?
Those 3 faces the faces who didn't give life sacrifices.
It's not just me, right?
No.
No, I'm losing them, but I'm worried about talking over the top of them if they are talking.
Yeah, same. I'll go say goodbye to the children whilst they reboot their internet very quickly.
Very well.
If we're headed to Targos anyway, maybe we can find out more about the murder that happened there. It was a human shipbuilder.
Might not be a bad idea.
Yeah, I mean, that was the plan. We were going to go there. I'll go and I'll say goodbye to the kids, and then we'll continue on from there.
Okay.
Maybe I should escort you, Impa, just in case the character decides to come back again. Maybe target you or something.
I hope they do.
Me too.
She says with a slightly scary glint in her eye.
Just before you leave, or as you walk out the door, Cora, the innkeeper, steps forward to you, Jorgen and Tolben. It's like, oh, Jorgen, good to see you again. Is there anything I can get you before... Are you heading out somewhere?
Well, we're just heading out for a few days to just go and look into a few things. Where, not everything's been kosher around here lately. Things have been a bit unsafe.
Oh, I couldn't agree more. Are you planning to try and make it more safe for us all?
Look, it's more we just trying to work out what it is. If it's just a bear, we'll take care of a bear. That's fine. We've got some new people that have come to town that, we're not exactly. We're still working them out, and just a lot of things happening all at once. We're just trying to investigate a little bit.
Okay. You know about Hua? Yes. Now he was disappeared 2 months ago. Do keep an eye out for him. Yes.
Oh, always. Oh yeah. I'll always keep an eye out for him, but I don't want to give you any unnecessary hope. The times are tough and we need hope, but we need to put our hope in things that are real. And look, 2 months is a very long time for someone to be gone, especially in these parts.
Yeah, it is. That's what worries me, that he's out there on the ice somewhere.
Yeah. Look, if he's out there, we'll be sure to let him know that he's always got a place at home.
Well, thank you, Tolben. I really appreciate it.
Always. It's going to sound weird, but, in case anything has messed around with his mind or, he's been under a lot of pressure the last couple of months and he's changed a little bit, is there anything I can remind him of that will, make him think of home? Favorite meal, a pet, something that will help him remember and remember you and know that I'm on your team.
Yes, one moment. And she hurries off and she brings back a small, like a beaded bracelet that it looks like a child had made. And she gives it to you and says, we made this together when he was very young. Tell him I miss him. And I want him home.
Absolutely. This is exactly what sort of thing I was thinking of. As he kind of takes a hold of the bracelet, he thinks for a second and he just reaches up behind his ear. It's gonna sound weird, but I'm gonna give you this scale to just hold on to. Put it in a pocket or put it at the back or something, but just know exactly where it is at all times. And it's just important for you to have the scale. All right, as much as it's important for me to have the bracelet.
Okay. I'll keep it safe, Tolben.
Yeah.
This is. I never knew.
look, this is not a just coming in for a drink and a chat type situation, right? This is important. This is not the normal.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Well, don't let me keep you. I mean, Godspeed, and may the Frostmaiden clear a path for you, I guess. But you all know what that's going to be like.
Yeah. We'll do our best.
And she turns and continues kind of tidying chairs away and looking after the place.
Who was it?
Okay. Impa, you were saying goodbye to the kids.
Yes, I'll go over to Pura's, where I spent the night. I didn't stay in the house without anyone there. Yes.
Okay. You open a knock on the door. Pura takes a moment. You can hear some giggling and things behind the door before you open it, and everything turns silent as she says, "Oh, Impa, you're here. Did you want to take the children?" You can see Zelda and Link in the background saying, "Ah!" And they run over and grab your leg.
Children. No, Pura, I was just coming to say goodbye for a little bit. I'm going to go out to Targos and follow a lead on the one that took Boss, as we discussed last session.
You know, I have trouble with my memory these days, Impa. Some things just take a second to sink in, but yes, I remember. You take care of you and leave me here. I will look after the children.
And thank you. And hopefully the gold that I gave you will help as well. And Hendrickson over at the Stones Tavern, I think it was, has also offered his help as well.
Oh, bless him. I'll make sure I pop over and say my thank yous later this afternoon.
All right. Well, Link, Zelda, I'll see you. Shouldn't be too long. And hopefully with your father when I'm back.
And Link says, "You're leaving again, Mom?"
Only for a little while, but I'll have lots of stories of brave battles, and I'll teach you all the things that I learned with that wooden sword of yours.
Oh, yeah, and Link just runs off away for a second, comes back with his wooden sword, like, ready.
And when we get back, we'll go over it. But also remember, don't hit your sister with that.
With that comment, he kind of turns to his sister and, like, fake attacks her.
No, Link.
Throughout that time, Zelda is not doing much. She kind of gets, like, pushes him away a little bit and just walks up to you slowly, gives you a big hug again, looks you in the eye and says, "Remember, Mother, the forest listens, the shadows watch, and the ice remembers. And even when you're alone, you're never truly alone."
Oh, I know that. I carry a bit of each of you with us, and your father as well.
Me too.
All right,
Mama.
come here, and I'll grab them both and give them a big bear hug.
They start giggling and carrying on before you put them down again.
All right, behave for Pura.
We will.
Pura. Remember Pura. Thank you again. And,
No trouble, dear.
And then I'll head off. I'll as the door closes, I'll quickly make a beeline to Impus and Boz's house, and just try one thing very quickly. I'll go to Boz's body because I don't know how shit works. And I will cast command on his body and say, "Rise," and see what happens.
You focus all your energy on this, like with the last-ditched attempt to try and reverse what has been done. And after a few seconds of stillness, you realize that attempt was futile.
Still not strong enough. And then I'll go and meet up with the rest of the party.
Okay. Back at the inn, you all meet up. Tali sees you all return and says, "Oh, you've all ready to go."
I have some questions for Jorgen that I didn't get to finish.
Sorry.
Jorgen, when you came by this information, was this like, did the town folks, the murders themselves, were they surprised? Were they worried? Were they concerned? Or did they know why this had happened?
No, it's just rumors and rumblings and townsfolk drawing parallels between the three murders in these other towns and Oz's unfortunate demise.
Oh, so you didn't hear anything from the townsfolk that lived there directly?
No, just around the town.
Our town. This town.
Our town, yeah.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
But it's certainly an interesting thread to follow. Three murders in three separate towns with a similar MO.
Oh, no.
It's not exactly the same MO as what happened with Boz, but someone's up to no good.
Oh, no, I believe that the speakers of these towns are definitely on board with what's happening, unfortunately. These three towns that you mention are the ones that conduct the human sacrifices to the Frostmaiden. So the MOs line up perfectly with that. And these speakers gave their blessings for this to actually occur.
So not a murder, more a human sacrifice.
Well, I guess that depends on the position of the townsfolk and whether they'd agreed, I guess.
Are you saying that the speaker here may have had a hand in what happened to Boz also?
No, I didn't necessarily say that. No, I said these other speakers. So all of the speakers got together, right? And they decided about what sacrifices would be appropriate to give to the Frostmaiden. Some of them decided that life and sacrificing lives to the Frostmaiden would be appropriate. That is not the case here in this town. I don't know. I had some musings earlier that potentially the speaker, I'm not sure of the exact timeline, but may have sacrificed his own sanity, possibly to buy time for the town, but that's just my own kind of musings on the matter before a life would be taken within the town.
And one of these speakers was in Targos, though, so when we get there, we should definitely speak to the speaker.
Oh, I would be very, very careful about how you tread around the loyalists. Those who do have a penchant for human sacrifice are not going to take lightly to people intruding on their business.
Are these willing sacrifices, like people volunteer or step up to it?
That's why I was asking who you'd heard from, who you heard the rumors from, to gain an insight.
Well, I think
it's just our townsfolk not necessarily knowing themselves, but whether it's an endorsed sacrifice that the population likes to partake in, or someone randomly gets selected.
well, we could sit here speculating until the snow cows come home, but I think we should go there and see for ourselves.
I somewhat agree.
DM, would I have picked up any of that chatter in my absence session wanderings?
Your question is, are they like?
Would I gather whether those sacrifices are the type that people volunteer for willingly because for glory and favor of the gods kind of thing, or you are selected.
The lottery! Yay!
You didn't hear. You only heard about 3 different murders. The topic of the sacrifices made to Oral in each town weren't brought up.
Okay, so it's been interpreted as murder, not sacrifice, because our townsfolk don't believe in sacrifice.
Then maybe they don't even know. I mean, like
Maybe they lied to.
the tavern keeper here and the other tavern keepers know because they took over, excuse me, from the speaker here because of his senility.
Sorry, in answer to your earlier question, no, it just sounds like murders. Murder is afoot.
I think discussing this with the other towns when we're investigating should be done carefully.
Lightly, I think. Well, shall we get moving?
Yes, let's.
I'm already packed, ready to go.
I have said my goodbyes. Tolvin, do you need to speak to your carrots before we go?
Big good little carrots.
Impa, you know that I only talk to the radishes. The carrots come with us.
Oh yes, how silly of me.
DM, are we in Stone's Tavern? And also another question, what happened to the elk?
Right. The elk, because you stepped away at the end of the last session, I think. You took it back. You managed to sell it. How many pounds of meat did you sell it for? I think it was like 8 or something high. And I will get your cost on that. So you've made some money off the deer and the elk.
Nice.
That'll be fine. Let me come back to exactly how much that was.
100,000 platinum pieces.
You can retire now.
But to be fair, you did agree to share that with me because we both brokered the deal. So
Okay. But nevertheless, you did gut and cut and sell that beast. As you all stand up, Tali again grabs her bag, stands up like, I know this may not be an opportune kind of vibe we're going for here, but I'm actually really excited about this. This is new territory for this my studies. I'm so thankful that you can all help me do this.
Yes, possible death and
wants to go and
starvation and freezing to death. Yes, very exciting.
Oh, Impa, when you put it like that, it sounds horrible, but think of the learning we could achieve.
We can learn at what temperature frostbite sets in.
Maybe.
Impa, you sound a lot like Boz. For all the adventures we used to do, he was colourful in his whinging too.
Yes. Yes, he was. All right.
Okay. You're all setting out, heading away from Bremen, yes?
Correct.
To Targos!
Yeah, I don't want to slow down the expedition.
Well,
I just
hang
need to
on.
pick up some new arrows, and I guess there's crossbow bolts for that crossbow.
Oh, yes, 20 crossbow bolts. Boz never got to use them.
The first ones from
Plucked from his cold dead corpse.
and I was maybe thinking of picking up some kind of entrenching tool or shovel.
you want to pick up a pooper scooper.
Okay. You do find a small merchant that has a few arrows. Not heaps. I mean, they're not traveling with loads of arrows. You managed to pick up 10 arrows for 5 silver. And a shovel. You do find one of those fairly easily from the same merchant for 1 silver.
Okay.
One
Oh,
what?
yes.
Silver.
One.
Yes.
Did we work out how much I got from the elk and stuff?
No, we
No,
didn't.
no, it's fine.
So I've written it down.
Just right.
We'll chase it up with him.
Just put it on my tab.
Yes, put on the tab. Exactly.
Yes, the shovel is a good idea, Greykov. You must bury your poop out in the open.
You don't
Otherwise,
want to leave
beasts
it
can
for
track
someone
you.
else to step on.
That too, yes. Although it is funny when that happens.
Okay. Leaving the outskirts of Bremen behind you, you reach the banks of the Shangan River, all frozen over save for a small, narrow passage of moving water at its center. It's hard to find the road to Targos. There's no clear path, as everything's been snowed over, obscuring any kind of road that may have been there once before. Can someone give me a survival check, please?
I will, Greykov, you know how to track, how to stay safe. I also have practice. Here, let me assist you.
Between the two of us, we should perhaps not get lost.
Fantastic. Using with your 23, you stay the path and manage to stay on course based on what directions you were given prior to leaving. And as time passes, you eventually see just off to your right this strange set of stones out in the distance. And someone give me a perception check, or you all can?
Yeah, let's do it. Does this sound familiar to anything that I have seen in the past? I don't see the because I rolled
23.
Oh, there it is.
I don't even use that natural one.
Them kitties.
14.
Oh, there
Oh,
you go,
Jorgen.
Jorgen.
Is it on my map?
Jorgen, not
Yeah.
20.
It is not on your
20,
map.
but
Oh, okay.
Still
I'm gonna
less than great.
unfurl the map and I'm gonna stand or sidle up next to Greykov and then be like, I'm not no maptician, but I don't think that is over there. Oh, speaking of, you might want this.
As you all focus on this area off to the right-hand side, in towards the south, you see 5 sharp-edged, fairly tall stones kind of arranged in a semicircle. You can see 4 people there, 3 of them, one standing a little higher than the others, almost as though he's talking to them, and 3 just listening intently.
What's he wearing?
What are they wearing? They're wearing their winter warms.
What are you wearing?
Their
Yeah, but
warms.
no spiky collars or anything. No,
No, with your
ominous
perception
baggy
check,
hair.
no. You are not spying any spiked collars on these
Jared,
people.
with your perception check.
What did Jorgen's perception check make Jorgen see?
Everything I just described.
plus the main dude is wearing a thong.
But remember, they're still about 100 feet away from you, so they're a little bit small, and the sound of the wind around you is making it hard to hear anything else as well.
But
They
are
don't
they
look
stones or
culty,
people?
do they?
Sorry, there's 5 stones arranged, but you can also see 4 people standing around.
They don't look culty, do they? Can I make that out?
Cult vibes.
They
Similar robes.
They might be cold. We should see if they're okay. They
Make
might
a
be
perception
trapped,
check,
not-
Jorgen.
I don't know, I just get culty vibes.
Maybe they're lost on the way on the road.
Maybe they're just frozen in the spot.
Does my natural 20 count? Oh, fuck's sake.
I'm going
Natural
to
20 to a nat 1.
Yeah,
I'll pay it. I'll pay the natural 20 from earlier because you were looking at them all anyway. I just missed it. Oh, that's
It's like I can see them perfectly. Oh, there's something in my eye. God damn it.
Beatrice.
Oh, I'm gonna like point a casual finger sort of like towards them and go, "Hark, traveler, who goes there?" And cast message.
Oh, okay. I was going to say that's quite a long way. Firstly,
They can
Jorgen.
reply in a whisper that only I can hear.
Okay. Jorgen, it's very, very hard to tell if they're cultists. They are very well rugged up and a long way away.
Are you cold?
But they look like anyone else you would have seen in Bremen or in your travels so far.
Everyone in Bremen is in a cult.
Beatrice, remind me what you asked them?
Oh, remind me. I was like, basically like a hark traveler who goes there. Like, I don't want to approach them if they're going to like be a massive threat, and I don't want them to freak them out and then have them attack us.
Sure. And
So you just whisper in their ear while they're...
Yeah. Like,
Can you imagine that? You're in the middle of a conversation and someone just is like, "Who are you?
it's like sidle up to them. It's like, "Hey, baby, what you doing?"
you see, like the one you pointed to was the one kind of talking to the other three, and they immediately stop for a second and kind of look over their shoulders, looking for where that voice come from, before spying you off in the distance. And you hear a voice in your head that just says, "Come and join us. We're preaching and talking of the Frostmaiden." It's...
I was right, it is a cult.
We can't eat this.
I'm gonna like talk to my companions and be like, "They're religious zealots. Maybe we should just smile and wave and walk away very quickly."
And
If
maybe they have information about what's going on though.
Well, perhaps.
I mean,
Perhaps. Just be
I've-
delicate.
I've always found the best way to deal with Mormons is with a swift mace to the side of the head. That was a
yes,
joke.
That's
That
not
was-
the delicate nature that I'm talking about. That's the opposite of delicate. That's
No, that was, I was making a joke. It seemed a bit tense. I was worried.
Very well.
Didn't know.
Let's venture up there. Let's start walking it up towards them.
Oh, wait, what?
I've got some questions to ask.
Oh, shit.
I've now got an image of Impa like yelling, "Mace, mace, mace," as she just bludgeons someone.
Oh, okay. If we're doing this, then I'll just pull out a little scrap of paper. I'll just like read it, and then I'll just like reach out and just like poke Beatrice in the back of the arm and cast Shield of Faith on her. So you get a +2 to your AC for the next 10 minutes.
okay.
You never know, they might be friendly.
There might be.
Hey, doesn't hurt.
Thank you. I think
As you get closer,
if
you see that the person who responded to you, Beatrice, the one that is now looking at you directly, is welcoming of you. And as you get closer, she's like, come and join us. We're sending praise to the Frostmaiden for hopes that she may return summer for us. And as you're getting closer and closer, you can see across these stones, these 5 pillars standing up, now looking about 7 foot tall, probably taller than yourself there, Impa. They're covered with stains of frozen blood. And you can see...
Hey!
Nice.
This is not good. This is a bad situation.
You can
They're
see
definitely friendly.
Hold it.
there are several kind of hooks driven into the stone.
Oh my
Right,
god.
how far away do you think we
What
are
the
now?
fuck?
How far away from the people?
Yep.
Probably around 30 feet.
All right. I'm going to do detect magic, see if I can detect anything.
Okay.
Yeah, but
And
hurry up because it's almost bedtime.
Do I detect any magic or auras or anything?
Looking around at that distance, nothing radiates that kind of magical aura that you can make out.
Good sign so far.
as we get closer, just their demeanor's not changing, right? No one's furtively reaching for the hilt of something.
I mean, passively, I can sense if they're like feigned or something like that. What was it?
No.
Good and evil.
So
Special, feign, and undead. I doubt they're any of that. So
they are not.
No. They just fucked up. And
And as you get closer, you can see the furthest pillar from you. It's kind of, they're arranged in this circular pattern. It stands behind this dais with a large 3-foot wide bowl on it. And beyond that, on the pillar that's beyond it, there is the body of a person that's dripping blood and frozen.
I'll just turn quickly to Tali and I'm like, Tali, you might want to hang back here for a moment. Plus we Yeah, no. Yeah. It's all kinds of fucked up, but hang back.
Oh, okay. What? And she just starts to back up a little bit and keeping very wary now that that's being pointed out to her.
I grab my shield out and I get my mace ready.
Can I, just as we're walking closer, if we're, say, within 30 feet, can I do my damnedest to ascertain, like, well, how this person was killed, but also if it was, like, voluntary or not? Using medicine or something?
From that distance?
If they're bruised or... I mean, if everyone engages in conversation, then I'll like go for a bit of just meander around and like look around and get closer. But for now, I guess I'll just see if they're bruised or if there's signs of like struggle or resistance.
Sure. I mean, at that distance, give me a perception check.
Have they been decorated at all? Like a kind of thing, Viking sacrifice, painted and.
Who wants to do all the talking? Ooh, there you go.
Damn.
Yeah. Gary.
Your sharp eyes pick up that this person, apart from being stuck on this hook or this spike, there's no other real sharp injuries to them, i.e. they haven't been like they had their throat slit or anything like that. Although, because this spike is now sticking in their back, there is a lot of blood that has flowed down and soaked into their clothes. Bruising-wise, can't really make it out because of how cold it has been. A lot of their skin has turned very pale and almost blue.
Okay. So they've like died of exposure and
Probably a couple of factors, yeah.
Hey, Zane, you're already in the front. Do you want to have a chat?
Like,
You want to have a chat?
Absolutely.
slow down like your heartbeat and slow down the rate in which you actually expired from the blood loss as well. Like that would not be as quick as it would be in the summertime.
No, I get the feeling that this is not a nice place.
Why did we come here?
yes.
I wanted to ask a question.
Beginning to wonder.
All right. Go,
Have you come to honor the Frostmaiden with
No,
us?
I'm just wondering, what makes you stand out in this freezing cold? And what's
It
with
is
all the blood?
always. It is always cold. It's always cold. What's with the blood? It's the sacrifice to the Frostmaiden. It's the sacrifice to Oral, the god of winter.
What
It's-
town is this sacrifice from?
We're from Targos.
Ah,
Huh.
does this happen often?
We're heading that way. So they willingly gave their life, or you guys put them on that stake?
Well, there are very few who want to be put on, to be sacrificed to the Frostmaiden. I mean, I've put my hand up several times, but It's more or less a lottery system.
That sucks.
Reward?
Would you want to be up on the
Eternal?
roll?
I would almost give anything to be sacrificed to the Frostmaiden, to do what I can to appease the god of cold.
So you're saying he volunteered for this,
Right.
right?
What's
No.
stopping you?
I do
So
my
it's
best to
literally-
say again.
No, you go. I'll let you finish.
Responding to Gregor's, my role here is to more gather support and get more people of the 10 towns to be sympathetic to the Frostmaiden, to understand the pain she's in.
What pain?
Why would she be in pain? Yes, exactly, Beatrice.
Look at this! Look at the sadness and the cold she brings. This can only be caused by pain.
So you have no idea.
Either that, she's just a bit.
Maybe she will.
I withhold that full sentence. I just realised that they, fully respect her and like. Not gonna,
It looks like some of
their
you.
god names.
You are not from around here, yes? With all these very
No, we're on our way to
Strange
Targos. A
question.
little bit turned
This
around.
conversation has been most enlightening, though. I do appreciate it.
well. You are welcome to come and offer a sacrifice to the Frostmaiden. Many have who come past here, not just at the new moon like last night, where you can see what's happened before you, but many cast sacrifice into the bowl for the Frostmaiden.
For what? Death and suffering, or
Oh, no, that means just like offering a bit of blood as you pass, is what I think they mean.
nah? Pass.
Do you think the Frostmaiden would like a carrot?
Just the tip.
Maybe you could juice it.
No, definitely the whole thing.
Have you offered some blood today?
We have offered much blood. You can see on the stone behind you.
No, of your own.
Working out for you.
Oh, no. No. I have already made my sacrifice before.
What, just
You're
one?
still here.
My husband was sacrificed to the Frostmaiden.
Yes, but that was his sacrifice, not yours.
The Frostmaiden demands sacrifices of things which are closest to you.
But not you. Closest to you, but not you.
Well, that'd be fairly self-important, wouldn't it?
You'd think that they'd get much better outcomes out of like regular flagellation.
I agree.
How often does this happen?
What happened? This sad state of this person on the stone behind you, or people who make their sacrifice to the Frostmaiden in the bowl?
Both.
Well, anyone is welcome to make a sacrifice in the bowl at any time. Travelers passing by often do it in hopes of fair weather.
And what happens if you don't do the dust sacrifice? What happens then?
Nothing, I don't think, but things are not going to get any better around here unless we make Oral the Frostmaiden happy.
But has that worked in the last 10 years, or?
In the last 2 years since the never-ending winter has appeared, we are still trying to find new methods to make her happy.
Have you tried singing songs?
Yeah,
Tried
songs
singing
are joyful.
songs?
Yeah.
No, less death,
Killing people.
less people who love
Joyful.
dying.
We haven't tried
Never
singing
thought
too
about
many
that.
songs.
Haven't
yes,
thought this through?
I mean, maybe the constant death and blood and everything is what is making the Frostmaiden unhappy. And
I
if
mean,
you
maybe you-
tried something different, bringing joy to the otherwise frigid cold that we're in.
Yes, maybe you'd warm her cold, frigid heart.
Make a persuasion check.
Who's making that check?
I mean, whoever. I mean, someone give me a persuasion check. Whoever's doing the most kind of persuading.
Does someone
all
have
been team
advantage on
I feel
persuasion.
that?
like I'm questioning the most, so I'll roll.
Yeah, someone roll with
Persuasion.
advantage.
Roll with
With advantage?
Yeah, boy.
Alright.
The Frostmaiden
Not that
is the
great.
Great
14.
Witch.
And she says, look, songs aren't something we tried. I'm not sure it seems to fit. And one of the other people there kind of steps forward and says, you've got to be kidding, right? We're not much for singing.
Hey, Zane, you're a religious type, yes?
I wouldn't say I'm that religious, but somewhat.
Well, somewhat.
I've made my oath.
Like, religions have hymns and stuff. Isn't that a thing? I mean, if they were true
Yes.
disciples of the Frostmaiden, wouldn't they know her hymns?
I can tell you there's a lot more faith that don't give up their lives to please someone.
This is very true.
Well,
DM, is Oral a god, a goddess, or like is it just like a super powerful being that controls the weather? Like, would Impa know, considering the fact that she's been around for her entire life up in Icewind Dale?
you would understand that she's understood to be not a major deity.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Like a demigod sort of thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like an F grade celebrity.
Well, I feel like we've got as far as we got here. Can you point us at least in the direction of Targos?
By all means. And she points in the direction you were originally walking. It's about 2 hours trek in that direction.
And there's an
Very
elk
well.
around as well. Do you know of the elk?
The elk?
Oh, moose.
That doesn't let people moose. The moose. I'm sorry. There's a lot of horned beasts in the area. I get confused.
There's not too many moose in these parts. They tend to be
I think
found up in Lonelywood.
I think the plural is meese.
Meese? Moose? Mice?
Mooses.
But yes, maybe instead of next time killing somebody, try a song.
Quite for evening.
She leans forward just quietly. She says, You don't understand. The servants of the Frostmaiden demand such a sacrifice.
And how often do these servants appear?
There's no cadence to it. They
Just
just
no pattern.
no pattern.
Interesting.
If
They have like a location, like a what's the word I'm looking for? Like a place where they all get together and
Congregation.
yes, that where they all scheme. A
Priory.
headquarters, priory, and
The
cult?
servants of the Frostmaiden?
Yes, that.
Oh, no. No. It's just us who try and do our best to keep her happy. But the servants of the Frostman enforce her will.
Ooh,
what if when they come next and tell you to do it, you sacrifice them instead?
He said.
Well, I'm not volunteering for that one.
Or how about
Beatrice?
you guys sacrifice your warmth? That might be a good one to choose, maybe.
Hang on. Beatrice?
is there any like arcane symbols on the stones themselves?
With your perception checks earlier, doesn't appear to be. They appear to just be stones covered in some frozen blood and with hooks sticking out of it.
Why here though? Why this location? Like why
Yeah,
2
why 2
hours
hours?
from Targos? Like why are you 2 hours out of the?
Did ask.
What's? Is there anything special about the bowl? Like, is it a metal bowl? Does it like?
You're welcome to go and have a closer look.
Touch it.
Keep distracting. I'm gonna go have a closer look.
Okay.
The Blood Bowl.
Well,
I've got
while
a
Dean's having a
distracting
look.
question.
Oh, you go. Go, Kitty.
I was going to say, the servants of the Frostmaiden, what do they look like?
The moments I've seen them, I've only seen one ever, and they wear large furs with I don't know how else to describe it apart from sharpened bones around their neck.
Bingo.
And
And
they
you've
built.
seen one once.
Hang on, Beatrice, you were going to have a look at the bowl?
Yeah.
The bowl's in the center of this area, so it's on a small platform. But as you step up closer and look in, looks like it's filled with water and covered over with a thin layer of ice. You're able to kind of brush some of the frost aside and see quite a fair amount of coin and trinkets at the bottom of the bowl.
But they said that the people put blood in there. I don't understand.
No?
No? Oh, you mean like offerings as in just
Things of value.
into a well, things of things. I thought it was like a blood bowl that people would come up to it and just go and then just
Yeah, I was there.
into the bowl, and I was like, okay, well, that's bleak, but all right.
It's bleak.
Something a bit different to what it is. Just be like, I don't think these trinkets are going to please the Frostmaiden.
Especially when they're cold and wet now.
And there's nothing arcane about it at all.
I didn't detect any magic.
No magic detected.
And no symbols, just plain bowl.
Just a plain bowl.
The old bowl.
I'm going to get my dagger, and I'm just going to slice the tip of my finger just a bit, and I'm just going to drip out some into the bowl. Does anything happen?
Well, the top part of the ice melts from the warmth of your blood as the blood kind of spreads out, warms a little bit where it first hit, and then drips into the water, and you can see that drop of blood just trailing its way down to the bottom. But nothing else happens.
Interesting.
Impa will walk over to where Beatrice is, next to the bowl. She'll look at the bowl. She'll look back at the people from Targos. Any god who requires a blood sacrifice, be they god or demigod or whatever all is no god worth following. And Impa will raise her mace and smash at the bowl.
And you hear, well, give me an attack roll first.
Hey, better. Oh, better.
So you're going down or just smacking it out into the frozen ice?
Smacking, but she's also going to try to make sure that she doesn't smack it. That's a natural 20. For some reason. What the fuck was that? Just smack it so that it doesn't splash on anyone. Doesn't smack that so that Beatrice doesn't get splashed with who knows how many people's blood.
There was only my blood in there. It was trinkets and shit. It was just gold and jewelry and.
So, give me a damage roll.
Inside my head, I'm hoping that Aura remembers that I put blood in that bowl before it got destroyed.
5 points of damage to the bowl.
So with your natural 20, you do manage to crack the ice on top. No dramas. And on the angle you hit it, a lot of that water that's inside of it just splashes straight up and over the edges. It doesn't affect anyone. The bowl cracks to some degree. And the person you've been speaking to runs up and grabs you and what are you doing? Don't destroy that. Don't do it. It's all we have.
What you have is your life.
Had. I think the word's looking for.
There you go. Yeah, that one. Oral is not worth this. Not worth losing your town. Fight back, or she will take everything.
You've already made her take everything. This will be the end. And when you smashed it, a bunch of the coins and trinkets and things also splashed up and hit the ground around it. You've done enough. Just leave. Leave.
Impet pushes them off, just almost disgusted. Where
I
is
think
your
it's
will?
best if we do leave.
Do better, cultists. Do better.
So what's the plan?
Head to Targos still?
Tolman wants to ask an ask question or two.
Mm-hmm.
Friend, when was the last time that one of the maiden's followers was here? Recently, or a long time ago, or?
She's quite flustered. Like, maybe she's trying to tidy everything up you've just made a mess of before it freezes again. Maybe a 10-day or so ago.
Okay. Why did they come?
I don't know. I have no idea why they came.
Is there any debris around, like wood or branches or sticks or anything?
No, everything's pretty white and there's these stones in the middle of nowhere. Not many trees in these parts, despite the graphic you're now seeing.
It's okay.
I'm searching for a friend. Some tieflings came to pick him up a few months ago. His name's Hurrah. He's from Bremen. And does that sound familiar? Any tieflings that have?
No. And she's getting quite angry now.
I cast Create Bonfire at a little bit of a distance away from her. I don't have to have flammable objects. It just it's a fire that fills a space with the intent of warming up and melting the surrounding ice so that it doesn't all freeze together, so she calms her tits a bit.
Okay, all right. And she's quite startled to see that. She's like, that will keep it from melting. I appreciate it, but can just be better if you all just left. And she's trying to scoop up everything that was knocked off and just chuck it back in the bowl.
The guy that got, or the person that got murdered, I've assumed their gender. Are they human? Are they dressed like a shipbuilder would be?
They are human. It's just a human male. It's very hard to make out any kind of profession from that.
Okay.
How old?
Not an
Maybe
old
whacking
person.
kids. That's different.
Not whacking kids. No. That's you sort of make out maybe early 30s. And as she's trying to clean this up, the other three people come over and try and help her as well, getting in front of you and kind of nudging you all out of the way to we need to fix this up. Just don't come back here. You've made your opinions quite known. Just leave.
I'm just double checking now that they are close. They're not a militant set of cultists. They're not heavily armed or.
No.
I think if they were, they would have attacked us by now. I think they're just peasants with a really
Just worship.
strong opinions.
worldview.
Peasants
they're
who
not
just
armed.
need a good summer holiday.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, well, I guess we move on then.
Way ahead of you as I'm walking down the hill.
Okay, as you make your way onward, can someone else give me a survival check?
Well, I better. I'll do it. That's fun. Survival, you say?
Yes.
Fail this one. Actually, didn't do too bad. 17.
17. Despite the weather picking up a little bit, the wind getting a bit stronger and the snow falling harder, after about another hour and a half, hour and 3/4 or so of trudging in this, what you hope is the same direction you were heading before, large walls in the distance begin to make themselves seen. And you approach the walls of a new town with a broken down sign near a gate. As you approach, you can make out that says Targos.
Well, I guess that means we're here. Or almost. What should we do first when we get there?
Find the speaker.
Alright.
Entering the town, it's not really guarded per se. There's no people on top of the wall keeping watch or whatnot.
It's in Discord.
But there is a locked gate. And as you approach it and knock or make yourself known, like a viewport opens up, checks out who you are and says, "What business do you have in Targos?
Trade?
What have you got to trade?"
Tali, you're the
Haberdashery.
speak. You're the speaker, Tali.
But what? Who's what?
Haberdashery.
One at a time. So haberdashery, I'll get that a second. Impa, what are you saying?
Look, Tali, you were the one that wanted us to come here.
To Targos? No, I said Lonelywood. I mean,
Well,
this is probably on the
I mean,
way.
do you want to
This is the
spend
worst
the night
move
out
ever.
here?
Say again.
Do you want to spend the night out here?
Oh, absolutely
In
not. I
wilderness?
mean, if you think we should stay here for the night and then make our way to Lonelywood tomorrow, then I mean, I'm at your.
It's 5 p.m. according to the clock on my foundry.
It is not 5 p.m.
Just for those playing at home, we came through Targos to look for good old Farah.
Hoorah.
Hoorah.
But also around this area was the Goliath as well, the werebear. And that was another thread we could follow.
Yeah.
There we go. It's about 1 in the afternoon as you approach.
Oh, it's
Where
one in
we
the
keep you
okay. I thought that's what. Okay. We are here to
Track a werebear, apparently.
A werebear? Man,
apparently yes.
you're crazy. Come in.
What?
You're the crazy as the rest of us. A werebear indeed. He kind of
Nice.
opens the door. Opens the door to let you in.
I lead to him. Must be in code for something.
Like a sex thing?
Don't know.
Grekov, you look pliant. They want something for a sex thing.
Well,
I do not recognize the cant in which they speak for being sex, so
As
maybe
you
it's just something to do with the bag that we saw in Waterdeep.
could be.
As you make your way inside the walls of Targos, looking around either side of you, these, I guess, dwellings next to you are quite dingy, run down, and some of them look like they haven't been lived in for years. As you make your way towards the center of the town, you can see one particular building off to your left around the corner catches your eye, as it's nothing but really a pile of ash left, surrounded by houses which are still standing there. There's not too many passers-by, not too many people walking the streets right now, especially this far out of Targos, of the center of the town.
How recent does the house burn down?
Can I actually go up and investigate that?
You
Yeah,
can.
I'll grab somebody to ask them about it.
Okay. So as you sort of turn left down the first street, you see, to make your way closer to this burnt down house, you see, Impa, you find a dwarf walking in the opposite direction to you, and you stop him.
Yes, sir. What happened to that house there?
He stops abruptly. He's like, "Whoa, sir, hey, don't I feel big? This house here, it was burnt. Maybe
No, I can see that.
it burnt down, yeah, about a year ago,
Why?
I think.
And why?
Well, that is a mystery. No one will go near it since got some strange thing appeared on the door, and yeah, no one really knows why. There used to be just some lonely old woman living there, and now she's burnt.
What strange thing on the door?
Oh, just some... Look, as far as I know, having walked these streets every day, one day there was a house there. Nice, fairly comfortable-looking house. The next day, it got some strange circular symbol on it. I don't know, it looks like a... You'll see it if you get closer.
Like a
And-
black moon? Black circle?
No, it's more like a tree and a star kind of thing. It looks pretty cool, I must say.
Oh, I do like cool things.
But yeah, it's just I don't know. I've had the creeps from it ever since, to be honest.
I like.
Why the interest?
I like
Well,
iconography.
we just arrived into town and noticed that there's just a random burnt building. It's
Did you say
I'm
someone?
gonna
Oh, there's lots of random things in this town.
Did someone die or just badly burnt?
Someone has died in there. Yes, the woman.
Ooh, it's gonna be a ghost house. You need Ghostbusters.
And what other strange things? You mentioned strange things in town. What other strange things?
My friend, you're in Targos. Yes?
Why don't we get
Yes,
this?
that's what the sign said.
Yes.
Why don't we get the Why don't we? We're taking up a lot of this poor chap's time. Why don't we take him for a drink and then at least he's getting something out of it.
I mean, he was given it for free, but
Well, look,
we can do that after we investigate the
acquire more
house.
information.
I just so happened to be heading down to the Trip and Shuffle.
That's
Trip
a
and Shuffle.
fantastic name.
That's a great name. I want to open a pub named that. You could do like Trip and Truffle and serve truffle food. Oh, fuck yeah. Now I'm hungry. Shit.
So anyway, look, I'm going to be there. I've done my work for the morning. It's a pleasure to meet you all out of towners, I guess.
What was
And,
your name?
My name is Leaf Ironheart.
Oh, that's a wonderful name.
Isn't it?
Delightful.
I've been happy with it my whole life.
Why
Inside
would you
check.
have that name?
You can inside check if you want.
Is that spelled leaf with an A or an I?
No, that's a
Nice.
Lei.
Nah, it's leaf with an A because I'm an elf, so it just
That's
I
a
knew it would annoy the dwarf to spell it like that.
that's a big fat 8 on my insight check.
Well, you can make of it what you will. You might think he's happy, you might not.
Bet you it's a name that people spell wrong all the time.
Yeah,
And
He's
as
not
he,
happy. He's not
I'll
happy.
go and
When he goes to the Targos equivalent of Starbucks, they constantly write it LEAF.
I'll go and make sure that Zane doesn't step on a trap as he investigates.
Okay. So you're going to check out the burnt down house?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Almost like I'm on a mission. I'm just heading straight for it.
Mm.
Not even talking to anyone, not even stopping. I'm just heading straight for it.
As you approach that house, Zane, you get within 10 feet of it, 5 feet of it, and this feeling of just dread washes over you. A feeling of like you shouldn't be here. It's almost like a warning.
I'll probably just stop my tracks.
You notice
Can I make
that,
a perception check by chance?
yeah, so without even needing to make a perception check, but
I'll do it anyway.
with your 10, the burnt down house is fairly crumbled and you can almost see through it. You can see that snow is falling on the blackened wood. The door you can see falling inwards, and you can see exactly what the dwarf was talking about. On the door, about a foot in diameter, is an image carved into it of a circle with like a six-sided star covered up by a basic looking tree.
Interesting.
Do you push on into the house?
I'll probably wait for the rest. If anyone else came with me, I'll probably wait for someone else to come up, I guess.
Okay. Well, how about at that moment we'll stop for a break as everyone catches up to where everyone is heading. So we made it to Targos, and now we'll take 10 minutes and be back shortly with the second half.
Woo.
Oh,